Now I want us to talk about these available treatments. Ozempic, Mounjaro.
Well, it is truly a fascinating topic to look into indeed.
Please,
Jose,
go ahead, elaborate on that.
these are medications that are older than people think. They've been around for at least 20 years. Especially liraglutide, which came before Ozempic, and then Ozempic itself. It's also been around for a while, but it's only in the last 2 or 3 years that it's become famous. Now everyone knows about it, and it's being misused. The problem is, as with any tool, it depends on who has it in their hands.
Right?
If you don't use it properly, it can cause a lot of harm. So Ozempic, let's say it's the more basic of the two that are being used now, which are Ozempic and Mounjaro, which are semaglutide and tirzepatide. These medications work by mimicking a crucial natural hormone in your body called glucagon-like peptide 1. Aquil. This is a specific hormone that regulates your brain's internal need to eat, your sense of hunger. And it is also very closely related to the underlying anxiety many people feel around food. It not only reduces physical hunger, but it also helps to quiet that overwhelming feeling you get when you're feeling anxious about your next meal. When you don't know what to do, and you open the fridge to see what you can eat, and you start eating without actually being hungry. That feeling disappears completely. So it really helps people control their impulses, and not just when it comes to eating. I've used it with patients who want to quit smoking, with patients who want to stop drinking alcohol, with patients who have addiction problems, or with people whose cortisol is very high due to stress because they can't calm their minds. So this hormone acts on your brain, making it so that suddenly you can see the world differently. By feeling less hungry, you eat less. And you end up losing weight, without a doubt. But we don't really care about the weight. It's one of the things we're fighting against the most right now. We need to stop focusing on weight. Your weight, how much you weigh, tells you absolutely nothing about your health. What matters to us is what you're made of.
Well said, Jose.
Really, if you lose 10 kilos and all 10 kilos are muscle, have you made your health worse? A huge amount. So what we do is measure body composition. How much fat do you have? How much muscle do you have? How much bone do you have? These are the main components of any human body. Our goal will always be to decrease fat. In most cases, most people tend to have a bit more fat than they need and to increase muscle. So what happens? If you start eating significantly less because you're injecting yourself with Ozempic, and as usual, you start your meal with a salad and then find you're not hungry anymore, and you haven't eaten any of the protein, what will inevitably happen to your body in the long run is that you'll lose about 10 kilos in just 3 months. But out of those 10 kilos, 8 will be muscle and 2 will be fat. When you stop taking Ozempic, you've lost muscle, and muscle is your metabolic engine. It's the organ that burns the most calories. And by having less muscle, now you burn fewer calories. And now you start eating a bit more and begin to gain fat. You gain fat for 3 months, return to your previous weight, your metabolism is much slower, and what do? You start taking Ozempic again because you see that you've gained weight. And you repeat the cycle. You lose muscle again, you lose some fat, but then you gain it back. And after a year, you've lost 10 kilos of muscle, you still weigh the same, and you've only completely ruined your metabolism, and your health is now 20 times worse than before.
Wow.
It can really damage how your body works. What's the solution? Easy.
Peptides. What's that?
From a biochemical perspective, peptides are fascinating. Let us begin our look with amino acids.
Okay.
An amino acid is a type that does
Medicine, huh? Don't get too technical on me.
It's fundamental to quickly understand what a peptide is.
No, I love it. Number 3 is great.
Amino acids are like the building blocks our body uses to make any protein. They're like Legos. So if you put several amino acids together, we call that a peptide. And if you put several peptides together, it turns into a protein. In other words, if it's a longer peptide, we call it a protein. So a peptide is nothing more than a tiny protein. Several Legos put together. And it's a fragment of a protein. Almost all the functions in our body, whatever you can think of, are carried out through protein messengers. That is, a protein that is produced somewhere is a hormone. That hormone travels through the blood, reaches another place, and produces a signal that tells another cell in the body what it has to do. That's how the endocrine system works. For example, when you exercise, a protein is released in the muscle that travels to the brain, called BDNF, which tells the brain to increase the production of new neurons in the hippocampus. So any function in your body is regulated through proteins. And they work like a lock and key mechanism. A receptor and a peptide, where when the peptide enters that receptor, it activates the signal. So a peptide, what it mimics is that specific fragment of protein that targets a receptor to produce the effect you are looking for. Oh wait, that is precisely why they have been given this reputation for possessing superpowers. Fundamentally speaking, you could regulate almost every single vital bodily function. It is the exact same molecule your body naturally uses to send important internal signals. But we can now administer that same substance from an entirely external source.
For years, we've been told that metabolism is something very simple. Eat less, move more, and try harder. But true metabolic health isn't just about calories or willpower. It's about the body's internal communication. Our human body relies heavily on natural messenger hormones like GLP-1, GLP-2, and GIP in order to effectively regulate appetite, support digestion, improve nutrient absorption, and maintain a healthy metabolism. When these signals work properly, the body functions more efficiently. But what happens when there is a problem? Supporting these signals naturally and effectively hasn't been easy until now. From the pristine Norwegian fjords comes a complex of completely natural bioactive peptides, with 2 distinct proprietary patents sourced from exceptionally high-quality sushi-grade salmon. Backed by over $50 million invested in extensive research and clinical studies, this revolutionary ingredient was meticulously engineered and developed to support the same metabolic pathways that the body already uses naturally. Through a patented extraction process, tri-GLP manages to preserve the highly powerful and effective bioactive peptides in their most absorbable form. The result? Experience a highly precise daily microdose with up to a full 90% absorption, delivering 10 times more potency per single drop, compared to traditional formats. There are no synthetic chemicals, no forced stimulation, and no painful injections. Just a powerful complex of natural peptides designed to activate GLP-1, GLP-2, and GIP together, exactly the way your body intended. 3 pathways. 1 microdose, just a few drops a day, and that's it. This is next-generation metabolic support. This is tri-GLP, the origin. Pure, powerful, proven.